So we have three functions here, three quadratic functions. We're going to write them in standard form and then identify a, b, and c. Now you might not remember standard form, it's a while since we've done it, but standard form just means put the x squared term first, then the x term, and then the constant term. In other words, just a number. That should be the last thing you see. Okay, so let's deal with number 1. And at the minute we have y equals 3x squared minus 5 plus 8x. Now for the moment, don't pay any attention to the y. What we're interested in is the right hand side of this equation, the x's and that number, negative 5. We want to begin the right hand side with the x squared, then the x, and then the number at the end. Okay, so it's going to be y is equal to, we've got the x squared coming first, so that's fine. But now we need the x, and it was plus 8x. Okay, don't change signs or anything. The sign that's in front of a term belongs to that term, so it's going to be plus 8x minus 5. And now when you have it in that notation, or in that form rather, the first coefficient in front of the x squared is a, the coefficient in front of x is b, and the constant on its own is c. Now don't forget we have to include the sign of each term as well. So we would have a equals 3, b equals 8, plus 8 or 8, and c is equal to negative 5. Now if it's a negative, we have to make sure to include it. Okay, so hopefully that was all right. Let's move on to number 2. And number 2 is y is equal to negative 2x plus 4 minus x squared. Okay, so again, we're going to begin with y. It's always going to be y, so don't worry about that at all. Now, we want to have this side starting off with the x squared, which is going to be negative x squared. And then we want the x term, that's negative 2x. And then we want plus 4. Okay, so it's x squared, x number. Always. That's how you should rearrange these. X squared, x number. And let's identify the a, b, and c again. So the a here, can you think what it's going to be? Well, I indicate the others. This is b. And then on the end we have c. And it's always a, b, and c after you've rearranged them. X squared, x number. Okay, so the tricky one here is the first one. A is equal to, if it's just a negative sign with no number, then it's actually negative 1. If there was no negative sign, it would just be a 1. Okay, so hopefully that one's alright. It's a little bit trickier. So if there's no number there, there's a 1. If there's a minus in front of it, it's a minus 1, negative 1. B is going to be negative 2, and C is going to be positive 4, or just 4. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to you. And then the last one is going to be number 3. Oops. I'll do it down here. Y equals 7 plus 13x squared. Okay, well, we would rearrange this. Let's pull it up a little bit off the bottom of your screen. It's going to begin with the ax squared term, which in this case is positive 13, so 13x squared. Now there's no x term. It's a good idea, if there's a term missing, just to leave it in there as plus 0x. If it's missing altogether, okay, if it's missing altogether, it's 0x plus 7. Okay, so once it's written like that, you can see this is our A, this is our B, and this is our C. Okay, so that will give you A is equal to 13, B is equal to 0, and C is equal to 7. So look out for that one when one of the terms that you would expect to have in there, the x or the constant, is missing. Then the b or c with the constant becomes 0. Okay, so hopefully you can always identify A, B, and C. That's going to be very important going forward, that you're able to identify A, B, and C. Okay, thanks for watching.